Hey, hey. We are live, I believe. And no problem if you're not live with us. Most people are not at this time. I like to record these and put them out into, goes on Facebook, YouTube, and I think that's it. Shoots out to Twitter. Oh, on Twitch. But Twitch is live, and I haven't figured that one out, how people can watch me live. I just go and hopefully they'll jump in. And if you do jump in, put something in the chat. If not, and it's hard for me to read the chat because I have no central vision, so I like to have a line open for people to talk if we want, and that way we can do that. So I can set that up if there's anyone who wants to chat. But what I'm doing today is I'm almost done with the December vines, the 2 vines that are, I finished 2 vines each month, and they kind of form as what's going on. So this one right here, it's up in the area of, if you been following, I can, let me pull that up. I put this little dark area so you can see, but so it's right coming into where this new wave of technology is coming in from the right. We've got it where it's coming in from that left side. That was that first wave of technology in chapter 2. And then now in chapter 3, we went from the pandemic just exploding right here, just affecting everything from all the new ideas in tech that have flowed down into here, which, combating the other side coming from climate change. And what was interesting a few months ago was the blockchain gang. Finally, some crypto coming in here and really revealing some crazy stuff that's been happening. The rise of crypto over the past year and a half, and all the new blockchains and the meme coins and all that kind of stuff. But this is telling us it's definitely happening and growing, and I'm not sure this is basically, if I close this again, shit. Let's try that again. All right, so if I close everything off, you'll see this is one of the 2 that I'm completing this month. And, you're just going to start seeing it's not completely finished over here. But you see, this is it's not just the blockchain. This is Bitcoin itself. And I've had some revelations over the past, actually even today, that really today solidified what the heck this is talking about, which is more scary than I thought. We've got Jack Dorsey. I actually just read it today about his comments about Web3, how it's it's the Silicon Valley people now getting into it, and Web3 is going to be greed. So they're getting their fingers in it. So he's pissed off, and he actually used the term emperor, like the emperor's new clothes. If anyone doesn't know that, it's the emperor who thought he was everyone. He thought he was naked, but he said, "Oh, the people said only the wisest and most whatever can see the clothing." So he said, "Oh yeah, I see the clothing," and dumbass goes outside and he's naked, and everyone sees that he's naked, but he thinks they just can't see it because they don't have the ability because they're not good enough. But then he finds out, and it talks about pride and all that. So this has turned into from the yoke where it's coming from. The yokes always mean I'll show you right here. It indicates new ideas, broken eggs. So this yolk has been pouring all the way up from the cracked eggs up here after this new technological wave. It's kind of came crashing around, and then this is where COVID hit right in the middle, and that wave of technology engulfed that. We got the vaccine within a year rather than 10, and now this collision with the metaverse, which is crazy. I have old Zuck here. This is called Getting Zucked. I had this drawn. This was chapter 2. He was actually spraying his Zuck world into chapter 3. So I called this thing too, man. Or I didn't call it. The wall called it. So this was way before he announced Metaverse, and so as you see, he's starting to create the part of the Metaverse, which you see this nice blue. You would think it's something that's going to help with climate change, and it's this fresh water. Unfortunately, I don't think that is it. This is just that second wave. That first wave, it's kind of got that nice blue, blue-gray, and then I added a few more hues. This only has about 20 colors in the whole project. So the right here, we are... it's getting pulled upstream. So even though the flow is coming down, we're all flowing up into it. And that's what this is doing. If you could see, everything's flowing up into the global brain, which that is this pink, and that is, you could call the global brain the metaverse. I call it basically the completely the neural network of everything from IoT to metaverse to AR. That's going to be everywhere. It's just there's no physical form except for this octopus type thing that's has gone. Remember this? There's part of that octopus years ago. That was chapter 2. So chapter 1 had I think it had some pink. It had the first little octopus in there. Actually, the last one I did had the pink and had this octopus in there. Had no reason, no clue why there was an octopus in there. But now I see it was the beginnings of the global brain, and that's where we are. So, to recap, right now, this one right here, it's got something to do with data stream or flow. We've got the, what is this? The part of the mushroom that's way over here. Let me turn this back off again. So the psychedelic woke movement started way over here in Psychonauts. So this really talked about psychedelics and how they were seeing how that was helping with post-traumatic stress disorder and all that. So we've gone all the way from that to all these new ideas, and it's been following along. This is where COVID started hitting, so it kind of broke everything up, all that research that was being done. It still is, but things getting, especially in the medical world, get changed up when that happens, and so does the funding. So this is kind of where people were getting more into or back into more of the drugs, the oxycodone and stuff like that. So that's broken up into rage and mixed, obviously with Zuck's metaverse that's coming, and politics. This is the melting of the U.S. politics, which goes into the thought bubble, which is basically all these echo chambers of ourselves telling our tribes, being one with our tribes and making each other stronger in our own views and keeping us from looking away and looking at the possibilities that we could be wrong on things and right on the other, and we don't have to take this certain stance and stay that way, which comes back to the conspiracy, this pirate head, and all the cons that come with it, with the conspiracies. And then we get into this one talked about. I didn't even know what this meant. Why I even called it this? But it's called Uncommon Sense, and I see this is his tiny little brain. You're thinking it's this big part, but this is the uncommon sense. This is what they say. Of course, it's like this because everyone in my little bubble thinks that. So that's connected with everything else into the global brain. Good thing is we got the purple. I guess you could call them grapes from the grapevine wall, but they're the enlightened colors of all this. So that is getting into the mix up here, which is good because coming down here on this other far side, looks like we're having people coming together, and it's coming after this big wave. The brown area is more of a lethargic area. Coming up to here, this is kind of contemplating unconsciousness and not really moving anywhere. The red is action on effects of climate change, or in this case, right here, not bad thoughts, but controlled thoughts that we might not necessarily agree with, which is all you see, all the white, all the clouds. That represents the kind of the passing along of thoughts and ideas of everybody. So you'll see it coming into different zones. A white cloud will come into the red area that comes out of a blue area, so it shows growth in certain areas. This is where they stormed the castle and tested democracy. This actually was being drawn while it happened, called Hotheads, and then we've got this. This is that weird time of creating the vaccinations and people taking them and worrying that they're mutating, but they're actually coming out of this living system that we've we're not creating this from scratch. It's basically using the materials on Earth to help combat what we're dealing with. And so this part isn't done yet. Now we're coming back down into the yolks, and this is where all these new thoughts are coming from. A lot of stink bomb, climate change, all this kind of stuff. And from the depths of our demise comes this new technology that can help us, and it's the blockchain. So the blockchain technology is coming up, and it's growing quick, and it's making skeptics out of people, and it's scaring the hell out of banks and governments, and China's banning it now. So it's a technology that could completely do two things: take us out of the or cushion us, let's say, from the coming economic crash, and as much as it's taking away, it's using an energy and hurting the climate crisis. It's a brand new company. It's a brand new industry, and it's already tackling those issues of electrifying itself and figuring out the best solutions for it. So, as the smallest and newest industry, well, it was the smallest. Now it's growing exponentially. It's the fastest that's trying to do something about it, and they're coming up with everything from staking to offsetting the carbon, which is it's something you have to do if that's all you can do. And what they're able to do is use the money that they're making to go into projects. They're actually speeding up the global use for to fight the climate crisis, because the governments aren't going to do it. They can't do it. So imagine this $1 trillion industry that they're working on the. I mean, they're interested in art, right? They're interested in purchasing and buying art and showing that they've got all this money. It's 0.01% own 20 or run basically 7% of of the crypto industry. So it's way off. So we gotta convince the whales that, okay, this is great, collecting art and doing all that, but to imagine being able to use that money to go right into these climate crisis issues and the economic downturn that's coming and social issues. That's where the art is, and that's kind of how it works with like the not the Industrial Revolution. That came after, but first, what really jump-started things, which it always does, is the Renaissance. And what that did was it had the rich people paying a lot of money for artists and for artists to do their thing, and that generated wealth, and it spread out their wealth, so it actually helped with the spreading out of the wealth. And then after that came innovations, so they spread out their wealth on these new innovations, and then from the innovations came these new ideas and changed society. The Industrial Revolution changed everything, and now this new green revolution that has to come is tearing apart the old one. So the economic crash is huge. We got governments going to Glasgow to talk about the future, but they come back and they invest in the past. They're investing hundreds of billions of dollars into the dirty industry that's propping everything up. So it can't change. And if it does, the economy will just destroy itself. So cryptocurrency has the ability to be that cushion. And it also, for the climate, the problem is these countries can't work together, and there's two things. There's the money and the governance. So I think this is an age of, the age of knowledge brings the age of, I think, connection, distribution, because we know we have everything, but we don't have a way to distribute it, and that's always been the case. So now with crypto, we have governance, so these smart contracts, so these countries can work together faster, and then you have trillions of dollars coming into a system that is based on value, not just if you made 1,000 widgets in 1 second to sell to 20,000 people who don't really need a new scrub dubby. And it just changes the economy. It changes the way we invest. It changes the way we work. And it's an industry where you can actually even play the lottery, put in your money. If you don't win, take it out, because there's transparency. You know where that money is sitting and how they are able to pay out money to people without using your money, because they're putting that money into other things and investing, and it's all transparent. It just changes everything. So I think there needs to be education and information that people can understand, just like the effects of climate. I've been really pushing that it's not as bad as they say about the use of electricity, and they're trying to fix it and all that. Well, it is. I mean, it's the more I find it is a lot, and there has to be something done, and there is stuff being done. The problem is people are going to freak out right now because they're going to think, okay, yep, it's trash and we can't use it, and then the market tanks, and then it'll come back up again, and the volatility is a big issue. So if we can decide on important regulations, that's a good thing. But we also need to educate people about how it can help. It can change the way we see capitalism. It can change the way we make money. It can change the way we work. There's so much it can change, but it can't fight governments. It's going to keep withering down. So, it can. It's going to last around somewhere, but to be effective and efficient, it needs to be able to thrive. So anyway, that's what this is saying to me. Bitcoin might be wearing the emperor's clothes. So That says two things, right? Let me think here. Either something's being revealed about Bitcoin, which is, look, you are a storage of value. We get you. But the value is in Ethereum, in your crown. Because look at the crown. These dudes are holding Ethereum. So it's almost like the true value is in the Ethereum. You gotta, and this is letting that Ethereum go and do its thing. So I think this might be showing that Bitcoin, that might be the thing that's going down, and it is going to take the rest with it until the realization of, okay, so we are using this new asset class as a way to run blockchain and run Web3, rather than, okay, this is gonna be a unit of storage over gold or anything like that. Because it's always been my thing. That's why Bitcoin's important, because it's a utility, not just a storage of value. But it needs to be used more as a utility, or I don't think it should go away. I mean, there's they call them the experts. They say it's going to go back down to $10,000. I don't know, because then the next thing they say is, but all these other DeFi and other coins might do well. So no one really knows, and they might all be right. So just be ready to ride the ride, and keep your hands in at all times. But speaking of hands in, he's reaching out, and he's got a hold of something. So he's either that last help here, take it before I'm gone, or this might be a full block, or it might even turn into these might be new buildings, which is built on the blockchain. But that's promising. Let's see this cloud that's gonna come about. Now remember, this is all ugly because I do it with my mouse on the computer, and then I take it in to Procreate. So that's why I did it again. I'm still on, right? Yeah, I'm still on. Yeah, so all this is in the dark, and I just kind of, I use my mouse, and I see what I think is coming, or how it flows, and then they just they tell me what it is during that month while I'm working on it. So like I said, this was a pretty tough month for crypto, and if this is saying anything, the Emperor's clothes might be right there, and he looks a little nude right there. So we'll see what that means. That's the scary one. And then these in the clouds are either the dream is dying. I don't know, because it is kind of going into that, so it might come up. Now, there is this wave, but it could be the cloud too, coming from here, and these might be the group of carriers that'll bring crypto back to life, and combine with the people over here that are trying to figure out what to do with the climate. So I'm thinking that that's what this means. There might be a little bit of a downturn with crypto right here, and then it looks like it might last for a little while, and then kind of build back up. But I don't know if this is the crypto cloud right here. That might be a good thing. But yeah, you could see that. Yeah, this crypto, it's going off. The next one is chapter 4. That'll be connected to this side right here. So that's in a couple years. we got to get past this part first. So regardless, the cream that's coming to the top, coming to the top is good because chapter 5 is the top. It's the ceiling. So this whole bubbling up is a good thing because everything else, is coming down, and this we're actually coming up the water, and that's what this is showing. So it's this it's upstream. I think this is a good one. I think this is saying something good because what's happening here, and sorry, it's gonna get nasty because I had to reduce the files because this thing would be huge. My computer is already not happy, but you get the gist. Looks good right there. So, but yeah. So as I was saying for the other ones, you can see that's just that one section right there. So it's this. It's an interesting one. I'm glad it framed out the way it did. Did it again? So when I draw it, I make sure that this piece looks good by itself, and I like how it just cuts off that big blue in the middle. It looks really cool. It's one of my favorites. So it's definitely going upstream, and it's got some humanity in it. So that's some good signs. We're not being forced, but we've got a sailboat though coming downstream, and sailboats usually mean to me I didn't know what it meant. It started. Wow, I think the first chapter 1 definitely has the sailboat. I'd say within the first 3 years maybe. Yeah, it was in there pretty early, and it was an ode to my dad. He was a sailor, and he always seemed he was the happiest on that boat, just carefree. And that's how I see it. It's just this sailing through, going with the flow. So while everything's going up and it looks faster, so it looked nice and calm here until I zoomed in here for a while, talked about the boat and going with the flow, and then now it actually looks like they've sped up. So I don't know. It's some type of upstream, us getting into the metaverse, but this is from this month, and there's been a few big things about the metaverse, but nothing much more this month than last. So we'll see. We got a few more days, a few more weeks. Well, it's a few days till Christmas, so we've got a bit left of the month. So we'll see if what this finally tells me. It always does. Sometimes it just waits a while. And as we know, for this guy right here, it's definitely. I thought it was check. Because the king and queen. That would be more because crypto has just gone down so bad, but so is the rest of the markets. The stock market has been great. So I did see some type of negativity for this one, but the crown is still leaking and the still ideas are coming. But now that I see it, so now that I've more of the month has gone by, it's looking like Bitcoin might be revealed as the emperor without clothes. So maybe I might. I don't have a ton of Bitcoin anymore, which I cashed out at a good time. Not all of it. So I don't know. I might keep it in there and see. But I have plenty in Ethereum. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. So this is just in the past few months. Look at the skyrocket, and that's Bitcoin. Look at Ethereum. This is the energy consumption. And that's just, I mean, since summer, look at that. And even when Bitcoin and Ethereum are going down in price, I mean, this past, like I said, couple months has been crap, but it's still been skyrocketing. So this uses 100 terawatts, and this is 200 terawatts. Yeah, so 300 terawatts. That is, so one is, I think, what, equivalent to Norway. The other one's Kazakhstan or something. Actually, I can tell you right here. No, one's Thailand. So now Bitcoin uses as much as Thailand, and Ethereum uses as much as Kazakhstan. But together, that's 300. And I believe that's the UK. And that's just in the last few months. So this can't happen. So this was the downer. This was the emperor just showed me his money. So that's the problem. I thought we were doing better because it wasn't skyrocketing, but now when you see the usage, it's insane. It's as much as the UK now. And even though there's carbon offsetting and everything's going to proof of stake, I don't know when that's going to be. And Ethereum has a few competitors that are already doing that. And if it's going to take them any much longer, it ain't going to work. I mean, our number one issue is climate change. And I thought for this issue, for this, this new asset class to be really say, you know what, drop the mic. It's using it as the solution for climate change through its governance system, from the DAOs to all the money that's in there, and the ability to do smart contracts and interchange, like real contracts that you can have with multiple countries, and that's with the governance. And then the money's there, and then have people move to investing in crypto more, as the stock market that is based on more shit for more people keep making profits, or you're going down. That economy has to end. So this allows for both of those. So my thing is I'm torn now, because I was 100% on that. You know, I'm going to onboard as many people onto crypto as I can. But now that I'm seeing these numbers, I have to wait. I have to see what's really going on, because that is unsustainable. So anyway, I'm going to be looking more into that. And that's why I read the wall here. It's telling me something. And I don't know, Ethereum is the darling that has actually a utility. But is that what's going to happen? Or, we do have, let me turn off the shade here, and this was last month. It was a few months. It's been in the past. Was it the last 2 months Vines? Or last month's 2 Vines? It was either last month or the month before. This one was created, and it did show the rise of all these new ones, and how it is working towards something good. I just don't know. The whole energy thing. I'm way off. Well, I'm not off. I was right, but it changed so quick that I'm sitting here double thinking everything. Like, oh, shit. It only used to be the smallest country in the world for Bitcoin, the usage. Now it's like number 29 of Bitcoin. And it's like, whoa. And then you got to put Ethereum in there. And to me, unless they're trying to talk about the same thing and adding to it, which I don't think they are, no, because there's two different charts here. That's 300 terawatts. That's the UK. I don't know. Only the wall will tell. I don't see much blocks after it, though, guys. I don't know. We'll come to it. Is this where Is this where crypto dies? It can't. But I think it implodes first. It either implodes or explodes. And it's everywhere. That would be nice. That's where the little diamonds are. Those could be the diamonds from the Ethereum. I don't know. There could be a possibility. That might be... But I'm thinking it is... But it is a... It's a breakup. And then the pieces will come together really far up here. Woo, it's going to be a roller